What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Gavin from Team Forces, bringing you 4th place, Burning Abyss with Chris. Let's get into it.
What's up, guys? I play BA. It's really good versus Trickstar, really good versus Brandish with the side card I play. And I play enough, very few decks can out, like Beatrice and a hand trap, so yeah, this deck's broken. I played 3 Skarm, 3 Farfa, double Libic. I bumped this up to 2 because I kept breaking with no monsters, and Libic's just really good to extend, because I don't play the PK cards, so like with Link plays, you just want Libic. 2 Calcub. It's a good card to mill, it's also just another monster. It's good against Trickstar and Brandish. 1 Barbar, 1 Alec, 1 Sir, 1 Graf, 1 Rubik. These are the staple. Alec comes up every now and then. Barbar's really good. New time roll OP.
You know, like, today was hard, but I'm happy.
Rubik, a lot of people don't like this card, but I think it's really good, especially because Virgil is insane against Trickstar, and others just the slow decks is really good, especially when you can bring it back with Sir. 1 Tour Guide, 3 Rhino Warrior, triple BLS. Oh, this card's broken. I can't believe this card's a 3. Double Hydralander. I didn't play through this card because I kept bricking with it in multiples, but this card's really good. It outs Boar Load because it doesn't target, and you can just make it live with Fairy Tale Snow, so it's a really good card actually. And there's a lot of OTKs where you can attack with like these two, and then pop your Snow, and then I just summon Snow again and attack them. So then I played 1 Snow and 1 Shadow Dragon. This card just, I kept losing games that I didn't have in my deck, and also you can shuffle these back with Letaseka, so it's nice to have them. I usually side this out versus like Goki and Spiral. No, actually not Spiral because you can hit Resort, but mostly Goki. And then Fairy Tale Snow is broken. Like whenever I milled it with Dante, which is insane. And games 2 and 3, I usually just send it in draw phase with Beatrice because they usually have Kaijus. And then 3 Droll, the best hand trap in the game. Card's broken. It's also useless against this deck. 3 Ghost Ogre. I should have bumped this down to 2 because it wasn't that good versus Trickstar. It's okay, but you'll never get use out of more than 1. Like, I know lots of people aren't running 3 Lycris, so you can sometimes just Ogre the Candina just to stop that loop from occurring. And then you can also just Ogre, like, the Nightmare, like Goblin or something. It's just okay. And then other decks is just really good against. Triple Veiler. Like I said before, people are only playing 2 Lycris, so you can just Veiler the Candina, Veiler Kagari, Veiler Shizuki. It's pretty good this format. Also, it's light, so it functions well with BLS. And then 1 Ghost Bell. I'd bump this up to 2 and take out a Ghost Ogre, but this card negates Call by the Grave, which really hurts your deck, especially, it's like a trap against this deck because they can banish your Sir or your Dante. It's really good. And the 40th card was 1 Cherries. Wow. Yeah, this card's really good. I drew it like once in game 1 and I won the game because of it. It's just a nice 40th card. Like, I did draw it dead like once, but even against the Sky Striker Trickstar, just drawing the 1 and hitting their Kagari is pretty good. And then 3 Seconds Light, this card's broken. Whenever I drew this, I never lost that game. It's just such a broken card right now. And then extra deck, I played 3 Dante, standard. This guy, DDD Stone King Darius, he just outs Boar Load, rank 3. Because usually like decks will overextend and just to make a Boar Load because they think I have no outs, especially because I have no spells or traps. And then you like grind through their 1 back row and then make this and you just win the game. Grand Pulse. This card never came up, but I played it over Phantom Knight Breaksword because Breaksword kept popping my own monsters, and at that point I'd rather summon a Dante. I never made this today though. Nightmare Shark. I won 1 match because of this, and just broken with the new time rule. And then Beatrice, of course, Virgil, Pilgrim. This card is actually really broken right now. Trickstars and Brandish have a really hard time outing it, especially without Diablos. So yeah, whenever I summon this, I won the game. And a lot of times, like, they'll steal my Dante or something, so I'll just make Beatrice, crash it with my Dante, or crash Beatrice into another monster and summon the Pilgrim and just win the game. And then 1 Underclock Taker, you just have to play it, link 2 the points down. And then 1 Decode. I play this over Trispania. There's a play with Trispania that you can do sometimes, and I'll show you that afterwards. But this came up way more than that. Like, the play is really sacky. It just comes up for OTKs. And then for Sherry's targets, I played one Sold. You can also just make it with Dante's. That's why I didn't play it over Firewall. But yeah, this card's broken. You search BLS. One Kagari. I didn't play Shizuku because usually I only have 2 cherries. I only play 2 cherries in the side and main because I didn't have enough space. And usually hitting Kagari is enough. You don't need to hit the Shizuku as well. And then Double Helix and ABC Dragon Buster. This card, I play this over Electromite because I like ABC is really, it's really hard to beat ABC with this deck unless you have the cherries or like another card I'll show you. But like it's just such a harder matchup that I wanted to have this for it. I never played ABC today though. For the side deck, 3 Spell Canceller.
What?
This card is disgusting. It's so broken, especially in this deck. Anytime I ever draw this versus Brandish, I just won the game. And going first against Trickstar Brandish, you can just summon this turn 1. And unless they hard draw Candina, they have pretty much no outs. Or unless they have Impermanence, which I play a card for that too.
What does this do if people don't know what it does?
So, as long as it's on the field, spells cannot be activated, and all spells are negated. Like it's broken. If I ever had this, I won. I never lost when I had it.
Okay. No.
And then 3 Majesty Serene. I borrowed these. Shout out to JD. This card's broken versus Altergeist. I noticed this had a problem with Altergeist. Actually, the deck is kind of hard to beat that deck because you have no ways. Like, since you don't play spells and traps, you just have all monsters. So, like, they can clog, and you have no ways of just popping back row besides Shit All Dragon. So, but this card's an auto win against that deck. Like, they can't out it. And then 3 Gamma, 1 Driver. It's a light monster. I usually side it going second. This card was pretty bad today, but that was because I didn't play any Gokis. Like, I sided this for Gokis. If I would take this out in the future because I felt like I had enough hand traps for more Saravis. So this card, if they target a monster I control, I can discard it and negate the activation. So this card, Saravis and Spell Canceller, is like an auto win because the only out to this is like Impermanence, and this negates Impermanence. And it's also just really good because people try to like make Unicorn to out my Beatrice, and I just drop this. It also stops Widow Anchor and Impermanence on your Fiendish Rhino Warrior, which can just end your turn. So I'd play more of these, either 2 or 3 of these. And then the other cherries, I didn't play 3 because just when I was siding versus Goki and Brandish, I didn't have enough cards to take out. So I just cut this down to 2 because ever opening more is also really bad usually, especially because I don't play Shizuku. And then evenly matched. This card was broken because people think that I wasn't playing it because I had Sekka's Light. So I would just side these out and side these in versus like True Draco and Altergeist. And whenever, like, they wouldn't side in their wiretaps and their red reboots and their mind crushes. So it's like an auto win. Like, if this is like really good, this is just, you win the game, especially against like bad players. So I just had to play it, especially because I can't really grind through a lot of back row. Like, every single match was really easy. Like, the only time I lost in my rounds was when I bricked. My only actual match loss was versus like a Paleo Mech Knight deck, and the only reason I lost is because I couldn't grind through his back row. Like, he just had a bunch of Paleozoic Book of Moon set, and I just couldn't grind through it. Yeah, whatever that card is. So yeah, that's it. This deck's actually really good. It beats Trickstar. Like, every single time I faced Trickstar, every match was like easy 2-0, like such an easy 2-0.
Okay.
Like, the only time I ever lost a game was when I bricked.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
You got any shoutouts today?
Shout out to Sam Shaner for letting me borrow the Sekka's Lights, and shout out to JD Mean for letting me borrow the Majesty's Fiend.
Finish this deck profile. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel and get your game on YouTube. Peace.